The Kardashians have been getting a lot of backlash following this fourth season of their reality show. From sister fights to hyping up Tristan, the fans are not the happiest, I'll say that, and we've definitely talked about this season before. Last week, the entire episode felt as though the family was trying to say how great Tristan was as a friend and a father, leaving fans to feel like they were really trying to ease everyone into the idea of him and Khloe possibly getting back together. Because in the past, when they had gotten back together, she got a lot of hate because of all the things that he's done to her. Last week, they also got a ton of backlash just because of the history that Tristan has with Marley Nichols, who Tristan shares a son with. And apparently he has yet to meet his son, at least that is what the most recent reports have said. And so for people to hear that he is this great dad, but only to the Kardashian children, that is really something that they are upset about. But since the beginning of the season, Khloe has been shutting down this idea of her getting back together with Tristan, constantly saying that they're just co-parenting, they have these boundaries set in place, so nobody gets hurt. Kim said that Khloe was taking every opportunity to let people know that they weren't getting back together and nothing was going on between them, because for some time following his mom's passing, his house was under construction and he was staying with Khloe in her home. She kept wanting to remind everyone that they have separate rooms and nothing is going on. But in the episode this week, Khloe was talking to Scott about Tristan and she tried to tell him that nothing was going on between them. She has these boundaries set, but then she mentions that she doesn't know what 5 or 10 years will bring. And then she said that if he's her person, then he is meant to be her person. But right now, she's not going to make her life harder than it has to be, and that's why she has these boundaries set in place with him. But it sounds like she doesn't even know how she's going to feel when he moves out of her home after it's not under construction anymore, since she's gotten used to him being there. And in the last episode, she was asking him when he was moving out. It kind of felt like she didn't really want him there anymore, but in this episode, it completely flipped. Like, she seemed way more uncertain about how she'll really feel when it's just her alone in the house again. And it's been a lot for fans to hear. When they did, they were like, Khloe, what do you mean if he's your person? Really just not processing that she might really just give him another chance later down the line. And despite knowing that they'll probably get some backlash, the Kardashians seem to be running with this Tristan is a great guy storyline because it only continued further. Later on, Tristan and Kris were seen hanging out together and she was talking about how helpful he's been to the family. And then they talked about how Kris got Tristan this opportunity to work for ESPN. He said that Kris literally just made a couple calls and said that Tristan wanted to do ESPN and bam, he got the job. She said she reached out to ABC and Disney and told them that she thought Tristan was super talented and how she thought that they would benefit from him being a part of the ESPN team, and they said yes, she got him the job. He was hired in January and was asked to provide commentary on LeBron James, and he mostly makes appearances on NBA Today and Sports Center, and I honestly cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. I think I've seen things about Tristan being on ESPN, and I thought that he was just on there because he played basketball or something, not because Kris Jenner made a phone call. But Tristan was asked by Anscape about working for ESPN and said, I was all in. I was in 2 feet, said Thompson, who also had television experience being on the Kardashians. I told them, I want to treat this like I treated basketball in the NBA. Come to practice early, watch film. Me and Hillary, we watched film. We'd watch playback. We'd do a conference call at 8:30. I'd be there. If we're on at 12, I was there by 10:30 watching film with Malika. I'd sit down with Malika and we'd run through the show or with the producers. Anything I do, I want to be great at it. I want to put my 2 feet in. And I know I've heard a lot of former players sometimes don't come with that approach when it comes to that. So Tristan shading a little bit in that interview, saying that some former players that go on ESPN, they don't bring the same type of energy. They just kind of show up to the gig or maybe show up late. But he was saying that he was showing up, and I feel like maybe he felt like he needed to prove something, because if mommy Kris Jenner made the phone call for him, maybe he felt like he needed to prove to them that he really did want to be there and that he deserved it. But since ESPN, ABC, Disney, and Hulu are all one big family, I'm sure that they couldn't say no to Kris Jenner. I mean, who knows what she could have said to them on the phone? do this or we'll move the show to Netflix or something. Imagine. I'm sure they felt like they couldn't say no to someone who is driving a lot of viewers to one of their streaming platforms. And let me just say that fans are clearly not here for the praise Tristan is getting and all the benefits he seems to be receiving since he's on the good side of the family now. People tweeted, also Khloe isn't done with him if she is saying if he's supposed to be my person. I don't get how much forgiveness this family has given Tristan for all his unforgivable actions, fathering children outside of his relationship, cheating on Khloe while she was pregnant with True, ruining a friendship with Kylie and Jordan. Not Chris saying Tristan's made some mistakes. You mean fathering other children that aren't Khloe's? LMAO, this family is too much. Tristan is making this season unwatchable. I think I'm speaking for all of us when I say we do not care about Tristan or enjoy seeing him on the screen. The Kardashians need to stop throwing Tristan in our faces each episode. I don't care about a lying, cheating loser, and neither should they. I think it's disgusting the way Kardashians treat Tristan after what he's done to Khloe. In the episode, Chris did address Tristan's history by saying the family knows that he's made some mistakes and said they know he's really sorry for hurting Khloe, and Chris said that she's sure he regrets all his mistakes every day. I mean, you know, they say once a cheater, always a cheater, but the whole he's so sorry and regrets it would be a lot easier to believe had it not happened multiple times. Like, it's just too much. Fans clearly don't trust him, but the family does seem to see all this good in him that they're convinced of something for the future. And I mean, I'm sure he's got some great qualities for sure. But like Kim said in the last episode, he just couldn't get it together in the boyfriend department, and I think that's just a big sign to not try to go down that aisle again. But I guess it's all up to Khloe what happens at the end of the day, and as much as fans want her to be happy and with someone that respects her, with everyone in the family loving on Tristan and having to co-parent with him, it seems like fans might just have to accept that these two might be pushed together. Or maybe not, but the show is saying get prepared, it seems. Now, the other drama from this recent episode was more Kim and Kourtney drama, and Kim was preparing to go to Milan as part of her Dolce & Gabbana deal. I know, more Dolce & Gabbana, seriously. I think this is gonna be the end of it, but there has been so much Dolce & Gabbana drama like the past 2 seasons now. And I know fans are just as fed up as probably Kim and Kourtney are with that whole thing, but Kim said that it was bringing up all the old feelings. Again, the fact that she had to go to Milan for Dolce. Kim had invited Kourtney and Khloe to go with her. Khloe couldn't go and Kourtney didn't want to, of course. And Kim said that it's something that really bothered her because she really would love Kourtney to be a part of these experiences, but that obviously wasn't going to happen since that's what their whole fight is about. But the most wild thing of all to me was that Corey Gamble, Chris's boyfriend, got a freaking deal with Dolce & Gabbana, and they were celebrating it at this big dinner at Wally's. The fact that he got this opportunity to create a collection with them is crazy to me, because how was this like not talked about in any of the fights? Like, what the heck? You mean to tell me that Kylie, Corey, and Kim all worked with Dolce & Gabbana after Kourtney's wedding? That just tells me Kourtney being upset with Kim for taking the deal with them isn't really the real reason why she's upset with her. It obviously has to run way deeper, because what do you mean 3 people in the family had a deal with them and she's only upset about one of them? Clearly, this drama is running deep. It cannot be just about one Dolce deal. And if I was her, I would be annoyed that they didn't want to do a deal with me, because what do you mean Corey scored a deal with them and she didn't have a collection made modeled after her own wedding? Like, how could she do her wedding with them and then they don't want to collab with her? Like, I would be like, what do you mean you don't want to work with me, but you want to work with 3 people from my family? Take it up with them, not Kim. But it does sound like her and Kim were trying to move past the drama though, because when Kim was in Milan, Kourtney did end up texting her, and Kourtney said that they both said hurtful things to each other, but at the end of the day, when you're family, you have your issues, but one day you can send each other a funny text and everything will be okay. And it seems like despite the fact that Kourtney didn't support Kim in this, they're working on trying to patch things up, which explains why Kim was at the baby shower and all of that, because obviously this was filmed months ago, so all this time has passed and I'm sure that they're better now. And I think fans are pretty happy to hear that this is going to be the end of the Dolce drama. But that is what is going on in the Kardashians bubble, with fans not really loving some of what's been going on in this show. I really want to know what you guys think. If you guys have been watching, let me know your thoughts on all of the Tristan and Khloe stuff they've been showing, trying to hype him up to everyone. I want to hear what you have to say in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.